Who could forget glam metal? Influenced by the shock rock bands of the 1970s, glam was largely responsible for making metal the world's most popular music during the 1980s. So I'm heading to its birthplace, the Sunset Strip, to talk with Motley Crue's lead singer Vince Neil about how the heavy metal image transformed from leather to lace.
Everybody came to LA to play. It was a crazy scene, you know. I mean, Sunset Boulevard was just packed with people just dressed in from punks to new romantic to heavy metal to I mean, and everything in between.
Sunset Boulevard would be packed, thousands of people, guys that look like girls, girls that look like guys. It was just bizarre.
We just wanted to look tough, you know, with the leather and stuff. And then obviously, you know, when you do a photo session, you got to put makeup on. You got to try and look good. It just turned out that way. And then with the next version of Motley, which was Theater of Pain, we just wanted to go completely opposite to what we just did. More laces and frilly stuff, you know, just to get people talking.
I don't know how to explain it. I never questioned my sexuality at any point, and I was up there in lingerie. And my wife was, well, then girlfriend, she was the one dressing me up half the time. I was going, okay, great, whatever, stockings, let's do it. It's gonna get me more attention, it's gonna get me in trouble, let's do it. Gonna freak people out? Fuck yeah.
So I sit down with Poison, and as a photographer at that point, and they're showing me Vogue and Elle and Cosmo, saying, this is what we want to look like. You know, ultimately, if you saw the first album cover, that's what they got. And there were guys that were on the strip that wanted to fuck the chicks in Poison.
It's rebellion against, you know, what men are supposed to be like. Grabbing onto signs that are associated with women, makeup, long hair, clothes that are colorful and flashy and everything. You know, that becomes your hyper-masculine identity, is to look very much like a woman. And I mean, what are you going to do if you want to rebel as a man? You're going to get an even more severe suit than your dad, you know. You can't go that direction, but you can gender bend. The line that struck me, it was some fan was writing into a magazine and talked about having the guts to be glam, so that being feminine is the most masculine thing that you can do in this world. It shows us so many of the things we take to be natural and unchanging and just the way things are not just the way things are.
An intriguing thing about heavy metal music is how you've got these either very feminine preening on one side or ultra-masculine, cock-rocking, skin-tight, check out the bulge in my pants for an audience that was 90% male. Anyway, you sliced it, there's something really homoerotic about it and bizarre. There's definitely some weirdness about the whole male viewing guys looking like women or men being actual, you know, very strutty and almost like, not almost, you know, West Village gay leather look. Really, some doctors need to look into this.
There were fans who rejected all that and said, that's gay, you know, and so on. Those are fans who didn't understand what gay is. I mean, that, you know, that Rob Halford was gay and that was putting on these spectacles in basic leather bar gay clothing, you know, with the leather and the studs and everything. Gay fans knew where that was coming from. Straight fans saw that as straighter than anybody, you know, the furthest you could get from gay, when in fact it was coming right out of the club.
What would you say if you saw Rob Halford right now?
I'd jump his bones.
Even though only 10% of the audience may be women, there was not a big gay scene backstage at most concerts. Matter of fact, I never even saw one. I mean, Rob Halford kept it hidden forever, and I know a couple other gay heavy metalists who would never show their colors. Heavy metal rock and roll is very masculine, you know, very hetero. When a guy's up there in a skin-tight pair of leather pants and he's humping the air, they're not looking at it as, oh man, he's shaking his dick at me. They look at it, yeah, man, yeah, fuck that chick. Whoa, man, I wish I was him. He must be getting laid.
At the time, I had never drank, I had never done drugs, I had never had sex, I'd never broken the law. And as I was listening to Motley Crue, it seemed like that was basically the only things that they did, according to their lyrics. That was the totality of their existence.
When you're hanging around with the guys at Motley, you learn a lot about the willingness of a female, and you learn a lot about how women will find themselves in amazingly compromising positions without any shame. There were situations where you would have boyfriends waiting outside the bus while the girls were in their back, heels up, in the back of the bus. And you were just astounded as to how is this guy, she thinks she's going on there for an autograph? Because she's going to come out there and kiss him, and it's not going to taste like Double Man, I'm telling you.
When I was young, my bedroom walls were plastered with photos of heavy metalers and the occasional half-dressed groupie. Well, now I'm going to talk to the world's most famous groupie, Pamela DeBar, who wrote I'm With the Band, a first-hand account of the groupie lifestyle.
Hi.
This is a perspective on sexuality in heavy metal culture that you rarely get to hear.
What is a groupie to you?
A groupie is a girl, usually, who wants to hang around with groups. That's where the word comes from. I'm with the band. You want to hang out. You want to be in the middle of that sound. It makes you feel so good. It makes you feel so hot. It makes you feel like anything could happen. It started with Zeppelin, I think. I think the debauchery. Of course, please, I know girls Elvis had plenty of sex with. It's been going on forever. But I think the idea of women going to extremes to be with the guys started with Zeppelin.
And of course, the big debate, perhaps, is that groupies are perceived as being objectified, a powerless kind of
That is
girls.
so lame, because they're exactly where they want to be. Women who are hanging out with bands are not dragged and coerced into the band's bedrooms or backstage or buses or anything. They want to be there. They make every effort in the world to get where they can be with these bands, and they're doing exactly what they want to do.
I love women. I think they should be naked backstage all the time. I love looking at them. It's great. I'm not sorry for one moment of it.
You get done with girls and we'd send them out the back window and have them come in through the front door. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's exactly the way you live, And then finally you start realizing, shit, this is a job too. It's a business. It's not just constant partying.
When I got off the road and I decided I was done, it took me a long time to be able to embrace a woman with any integrity at all. They were all pigs. And you start to, a lot of these guys, are still head fucked about it. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys still try and live that lifestyle because they don't know anything else. But, you become a product of that environment, and you go, my God, what did I do? And then you start to think, as you grow older, you go, I'm going to have a kid someday. And if it's a girl, somebody does this to my daughter, I'll fucking kill him.
People always ask me, if you had a daughter, would you let her do? Yes, I would. Because you know what? I had fun. I had a great time. I wouldn't change any of my experiences with these people.
I think that, like, in the classic age of metal, women didn't really participate or create it or have any power in it. All women did was hold the boyfriend's jacket at the corner of the pit. They were not involved at all. But then something happened.
I think with Girls' School, there's a definite element of respect. When we go on stage, people do give us a great deal of respect, which is fantastic. But I've been in bands before Girls' School that I've been on stage, people are asking me if I'm tuning the guitar for the guitarist, or, that sort of patronising comment, because they don't expect a female to get up and play guitar. That's the way it's always been.
Everybody tried to, put me a little bit more into like the female, the sexy image, but without power, and I didn't like that. And people in the record company, they said, get rid of the black leather, that's #1, be more of a girl. And I thought, oh no, I can't, I can't do it, and I don't want to do it. I definitely want to, be myself. And
talent isn't always enough in the eyes of the masses and the public.
You have to be attractive, and it's annoying. I mean, ugly dudes all across the board for metal. Serious.
Yeah, exactly.
All across the board. Honestly, any band you can mention me, I'll tell you they're ugly.
We took the only girl band around then, Girls' School, on their first tour. Nobody else would touch them with the yardstick. And we took, even the rest of my band said, "Oh, they're girls."